Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a rather interesting and busy 2 weeks here. As you know, I like to talk a lot about the Cybertruck, but the last 2 weeks was really about the new Ford Lightning. I have to say I was sort of excited to see what they were going to do, just because I was waiting for one of the big three to come out and sort of shock the world or showcase what they could do. I must concede, as someone who knows a lot about EVs, I wasn't particularly impressed with the specs of the Ford Lightning, which in my previous video you can go check out. I sort of described why that is. Seems a lot of Tesla people agreed, seems a lot of Ford people didn't. However, over the last 2 weeks, what's been interesting is Marques Brownlee, who I know from the Tesla community and so forth. He's actually has a Tesla on order. Super cool guy. As we discussed in this video, have no issues with him whatsoever. I don't think he has anything to do with what I'm going to be talking about. I really think he's merely the way that the information traveled through. But anyway, Ford came out, showed a bunch of cool things with the frunk, bunch of outlets, a bunch of interesting stuff, and they described their range as being about 300 miles. Again, as I described in the video previous to this, I thought that was not something very good for a pickup truck. It's fine for a car, but for pickup trucks purposes, it doesn't have the capabilities to do the things that you're likely to do, particularly if you're marketing it to the business or the blue collar world of contracting. Anyway, I got this 300-mile range in my head. That seemed to be the common theory for a week, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Marques Brownlee is the only one discussing that, oh my goodness, it's not that. I think it's, in the 460 range. I'm going to go through here why I don't really think that's the case. It's my gut, just knowing enough information about the EV world, it doesn't add up in my head. So I don't know whether Marques misunderstood them or whether Ford is trying to manipulate, or maybe they just made a mistake. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. But anyway, I'm going to go through here why I think this is highly likely not the case. Maybe I'll be shocked. Maybe they have some technology and are doing things just way above what everyone else is doing. But my gut says no. And I just don't see it. Anyway, please watch along. Please like and subscribe and look for my future videos. Thank you so much. So why on earth, when Ford has the entire world on stage and they're showing their new latest and greatest electric pickup truck, why on earth would they grossly undervalue its range when it's the most critical part of the whole truck? And it could immediately separate themselves between the Cybertruck and the Lightning. In my view, it makes no sense whatsoever and would be a huge, colossal marketing mistake. Now, so many people in the previous video I did, Ford people are bashing me, suggesting that how ridiculous it is that I'm saying that the vehicle goes 300 miles. Well, I didn't say the vehicle went 300 miles. Ford says the vehicle went 300 miles. This is on the website of the Ford Lightning. Targeted EPA estimated 300-mile range. Then goes on to say the Ford F-150 Lightning comes with a standard range battery that offers a targeted EPA estimated range of 230 miles, asterisk, or choose the available extended range battery that offers a targeted EPA estimated range of 300 miles, asterisk. Well, we all know what the asterisk means. That means we've had to hire lawyers to verify what we've said is whether that's really true or not, and we're going to cover our you-know-whats. So what are they saying? Under the underline here, actual range varies with conditions such as external environment, vehicle use, vehicle maintenance, lithium-ion battery age, and state of health. So even here, Ford isn't saying, hey, by the way, it's actually going to do better, so don't really pay attention to the 300-mile range. They're even undervaluing it further. So I'm rather confused by the whole situation, because if this was true, you would do this live on stage when everyone was listening not through hearsay through a YouTuber. Well, what about all the information I'm hearing on the internet that says the Ford Lightning had 1,000 pounds of payload inside of it, and therefore it's undervalued? Unfortunately, I've been unable to locate any information on the entire internet that suggests that this is the case. I've actually only found the opposite, which is this article here that explains how the EPA rates electric vehicles. It also has a link directly to the EPA website. Anyway, under fudge factors in part of the article, it says here, unfortunately, there are elements inherent to the EPA's testing procedures that tend to skew the ratings. For starters, vehicles are tested without a full load of passengers, cargo, and options aboard. So I have no official idea if this was actually done with a payload on board, but if it was, it would skew the data across all other testing, since this vehicle would seem to be the only one that ever had this done. I'm also told relentlessly that there are other factors. Ford intentionally lowers their EPA rating of range so that their drivers feel more comfortable and don't get surprised with range loss. Well, I did learn something here. They do that. Tom explains.
With the 98 kilowatt hour battery pack, of that 88 kilowatt hours is usable. It's EPA range rated. The combined EPA range rating is 270 miles per charge. It actually was 276, but Ford purposely derated it when they submitted their documents to the EPA. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to actually underestimate your mileage. So the city and highway combined was 276, but you'll see 270 listed on the window sticker.
All right, so there's evidence of this, but it's 6 miles, not 160 plus. So all this speculation and extrapolation has not helped things. It's only dirtied the waters further. The only thing I can add to this is I've owned 4 electric cars from 4 separate manufacturers. In all 4 cases, none of them have ever exceeded the EPA estimated range by anything more than a little bit on an occasional day. Nothing in the ballpark of 150 or 60 miles. And one of them was a Ford Fusion Energy. So here's the Mach-E. We were just talking about it earlier. It has about 100 kilowatt hour battery. It utilizes 88 kilowatt hours. It's aerodynamic, right? Its coefficient of drag is low. It's smaller. It's shorter. It weighs approximately 4,920 pounds, and its range is 305 EPA rated miles. So the Ford Lightning is a lot heavier than the Mach-E at 6,500 pounds, and its coefficient of drag is quite poor. This is because they wanted to maintain this general style look that they've had over the last decades, if not 100 years. Which I completely understand because that's what their client base wants. However, they're going to suffer the consequences when it comes to efficiency in range because of maintaining things like a flat front, door handles, and other traditional styles. So the Mach-E is actually done pretty good for itself. It's designed like an EV and its performance is quite good. So I'm wondering if we can take information we know of the Mach-E and apply it to the Ford Lightning. Other than lots of outlets and the frunk, Ford's biggest feature is their backup power. Here they claim they can provide full home power for up to 3 days on a fully charged battery. That is with the assumption that the home will use 30 kilowatt hours per day. 30 kilowatt hours times 3 is 90. So can I assume that they're using most of the battery to do this? Wouldn't they want to charge more days if they could? If they can't, does that mean the battery size is likely closer to 100 kW? If it is, does that mean the range is likely closer or maybe less than the Mach-E? What on earth is going on here? Ford is describing their truck as one that just barely makes it in the EV range world for pickup trucks. But meanwhile, big tech YouTubers who are in direct contact with Ford associates are claiming Ford has just struck gold. So the last thing in my view is what I just call the smell test. And it's the comparison between Ford and Tesla. Both companies are showcasing vehicles never made before, electric pickup trucks. One company has been in the trenches for 20 years, grinding it out and trying to redesign every aspect of an electric car, whether it's the way the batteries are designed, or the size, or the energy density, or working out the details of eliminating handles and windshield wipers and anything they could possibly do to reduce the coefficient of drag. Reducing parts, assembly lines, and doing everything in their power to create the gigapress to fine-tune production for both profitability and energy savings. And in the case of the Cybertruck, completely eliminating the paint line. I could go on for 20 minutes explaining how far ahead in almost every category Tesla is over every other electric car manufacturer in the world. But let's assume for one moment that the Cybertruck's range is in the order of 500 miles, and the Ford Lightning Platinum is in the range of 460 miles. It wouldn't seem possible. Ford ignored coefficient of drag. They gave it the middle finger. The Ford Lightning's body-on-frame design, battery makeup, and other key features will undoubtedly make it heavier than a Cybertruck. Meanwhile, Tesla will be utilizing the new 4680 batteries. Amazingly better in all categories, including 5 times the energy density of previous Tesla batteries. So if by some miracle Ford gets super close to Tesla, I will concede I will be completely shocked. Now, could a manufacturer just throw in so many batteries that they can get to the range they want? Yes, but the cost of that would be astronomical. And as if it wasn't complicated enough, Ford has one of the largest advertising budgets, where Tesla has none, and Ford has to pay dealers a commission. So that's my version of reality, and I'm curious to see how it all plays out. I know it seems, or at least through the world of YouTube, that people think that I'm a Ford hater. As I described earlier, I own 4 trucks, but I still currently own one now. But I'm not against Ford. As a matter of fact, as I alluded to before, we need the big 3 to do well. So Tesla cannot do this alone. I just think they need to work out the kinks, and I think they need to start working a little harder. Anyway, if you are interested in this Tesla Cybertruck, I am going to be, hopefully, one of the first round people to acquire one. And I have some very interesting things I'm going to be doing with it. Unfortunately, due to non-disclosure agreements, I can't go into the details, but I assure you, you'll find it to be quite amusing. So please like and subscribe, please check back, and hopefully I'll see you in the future.